warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, honorable judges. My name is Naraya Aqila Efendi, and I'm from Senior High School 2 of South Cikarang City. And the topic for today's debate is this house will abolish primary and middle school years that group children based on age and instead group them by competency and intelligence. We agree with the definition given by the affirmative team, but however, we, the negative team, believe that this statement is false. Ability grouping is defined as the practice of grouping learners together based on their strengths and talents within a learning environment. Ability grouping experts argue that this process allows educators to customize instructional content to align better with student needs and improve the student achievement. I will be discussing about uh, 10 points of my argument. The first one, the need for teaching staff. In my opinion, this is the first problem. The government is obligated to manage the teaching staff both in terms of number and in terms of competence, so that it can accommodate exciting groups. According to Ministry of Research, Technology and Higher Education of Indonesia, based on data for 2022, it shows that the teacher shortage in Indonesia has reached 781,000. To overcome the vacancy or shortage of teachers by selecting state civil authorities for government employees with a work agreement. National education development strategies must be resolved, especially regarding unequal education services and the low quality of education. According to the data, it's continued there are about 288 sub-districts in Indonesia that do not have middle schools and 681 sub-districts that do not have high schools. Meanwhile, it said the quality of education is influenced by teacher competency, which is still low with an uneven distribution, as well as the unavailability of a consistent method for assessing learning outcomes. The second one, policies or regulations for grouping students. Does the grouping of students really not take age into account? Do you need age limits in one class? What measuring instruments or tests that are used to determine intelligence and competency precisely? What is students' experience changes? What if the students' experience changes? And we need to remember that in the process, students can experience things. For example, a decrease or increase in achievement, change in interest, and so on. And the third one, class management. It is not easy to manage a class consisting of various age. Therefore, some kind of test or evaluation is needed when forming groups or classes. Of course, this requires a lot of effort and the right instruments. Imagine, for example, in one class there are 9 years old and 18 years old. This problem can continue to the next point. The fourth one is security. An age difference that is too large creates potential new problem, namely security. The first part is to dope. These were the students' parents. They are hesitant or afraid to send their children to school when they see that in one class there are students who are much older than their children. When the school aside, the school will think about or provide a special monitoring system. For example, one class is handled by 2 or more teachers during lessons, use of CCTV, making rules, and anything else. This is all certainly burdensome or funds and energy, isn't it? And the fifth point, we have not taken student interest into account. As in the first point, what if the middle of the learning process due to environment influences or other thing, student experiences a change in interest in the lesson? And the sixth one, students with low abilities lose friends who are more capable in their lessons, provide encouragement and help in the learning process. The seventh, the stigma attached to students who being in group class with low abilities causes demotivation. Demotivation is a feeling where we feel tired, lost enthusiasm, even give up on something or a job. Usually this happens because we feel we cannot do something optimally, be it work or tasks that are our responsibility. Demotivation can be caused by being physically, mentally, or emotionally tired due to excessive stress. When stress persists for a long time, you will feel like you have lost motivation or enthusiasm to do something work. And the eighth one, social and emotional effects. It can lead to feelings of self-esteem and peer comparison among students, potentially stigmatizing those in lower ability group. And the ninth one, inequity. There is a risk that ability grouping can perpetuate educational inequalities. When students are grouped solely by based on lower skill levels, there may be a lack of opportunities for them to learn from their peers who possess higher skill levels. And the tenth one, rigidity. One concern is that ability grouping may place students on a fixed track from which they find it difficult to translation. Once assigned to a particular group, students may face challenges in moving to a higher level group. Even if their abilities improve over time, this lack of flexibility can limit their opportunities for growth and hinder their academic process. So, honorable judges, in conclusion, I strongly believe that this House would abolish primary and middle school years that group children based on age and instead group them by competency and intelligence is false. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.